Lough Neagh, located in the centre of Northern Ireland, is the biggest freshwater lake in the British Isles and one of the biggest in Europe. With a surface area of approximately 380 square kilometres, it provides a habitat of rich feeding for trout with large populations of insects, crustaceans and enormous quantities of bait fish. Every year, a large number of the trout in this massive water body leave the rich feeding of the loch and migrate into the rivers which flow into it in order to swim upstream and spawn. These unique trout are called Dollaghan, and they can grow to massive sizes, with some being over 20 pounds in weight. The main Dollaghan run is from July to October, and the fish are motivated to swim upstream when the water levels rise after prolonged heavy rainfall. Dollaghan don't feed when they enter rivers to spawn. However, they will still take a fly, spinner or worm. Why they do this is not known, but it is assumed that they still take flies or lures through curiosity, aggression, or just an instinctive reaction. However, fly fishing is one of the most enjoyable and productive angling methods. The traditional approach to angling for Dollaghan is night fishing, as they become more active in the dark. Overcast nights, when the water is low and clear, are the best fishing conditions. Generally, wet flies or lures are fished slow and deep on an intermediate or sinking line. Effective and safe night fishing requires the angler to be aware of the surroundings, as fishing is undertaken in almost total darkness. This requires a knowledge of the river and necessitates visiting the river in daylight, getting to know both the river, its banks, and the safe entry and exit to a stretch of river. Deep or fast-flowing water, dangerous undermined banks, and barbed wire are some of the potential hazards. Whereas not knowing the location of overhanging bushes or trees, causing the snagging of flies, and not knowing the dynamics of the pool are some of the many factors which will spoil a night fishing session. A head torch is a valuable piece of equipment to help in the changing of flies, or sorting out tangles in the dark. But it should not be shone on the water for fear of spooking fish or upsetting other anglers. Too much artificial light will spoil your night vision. When fishing for Dollaghan, it is important to find out where they are located in the river. This is usually in the deeper, slower water, but they can also be found in fast-flowing water during floods or spates. In recent years, there has been an upsurge in daylight fly fishing, mainly due to the adoption of nymphing as a productive fishing method. This can be Euro-nymphing style, where the angler stealthily works upstream and basically approaches the fish from behind. Heavily weighted nymphs allow the angler to get down to where the fish are lying. This is done with light tackle and involves waiting for a take by line movement. Buoyant indicators can also be used as a means of suspending the nymphs at further distance from the angler, thereby covering wider stretches of deeper water. Another very productive method is streamer fishing during a spate or flood. Large lures are cast across the river and allowed to swing in the current. Again, the importance of getting down to the fish, so weighted lures and intermediate or sinking lines are recommended. To help protect the Dollaghan run, catch and release is recommended. It is compulsory in many clubs. Single, barbless hooks, knotless mesh nets, careful handling with wet hands, and keeping fish out of the water for minimal periods of time all help to aid the recovery and survival of returned fish.